How to get p-values less than 0.05 in biological research. Chapter 5. Outliers and more than one explanatory variable. Robust tests. The Wilcoxon and Kruskal-Wallis rank tests, described in the previous chapter, only allow for one explanatory variable. As we saw in Chapter 1, you can get much better p-values by including more than one explanatory variable. This applies to analyses where you have outliers or non-normal data. In this chapter, we'll examine robust methods you can use for this situation. We'll also briefly touch on rank-based methods. Robust methods are designed to give good power when most of the observations in a dataset are from a normal distribution with a particular mean and standard deviation, while a small portion of the observations are from a different distribution. The different distribution will likely have a different mean and standard deviation and might not be normal. This small portion of the observations from the different distribution are often identified as outliers. The essential idea of robust methods is to downweight the outliers so that they have less effect on the statistical model and tests. If there are no outliers, the robust tests give results very similar to a classical t-test, analysis of variance, or linear regression. If there are outliers, the robust test will usually give better p-values than the classical tests by giving most weight to the majority of observations. Robust methods are available in R, JMP, SAS, Stata, S+, and other software. The R package RobStat-T M presented here accompanies the textbook Robust Statistics Theory and Methods with R by Ricardo Marana, et al. 2018. It includes recent research advances not included in other software. Example with one explanatory variable, robust alternative to t-tests. The Wilcoxon test is not the only alternative when you have outliers. Robust statistical tests downweight outliers so that they have less effect on the analysis and p-values. Robust statistics tests work for data with one or more explanatory variables. Here is the analysis of the colon data from Chapter 4. Use the Install Packages function to install the RobStat-TM package. You only need to do this the first time you use it. Each time you start an AIR session, you need to load the library using the command library RobStat-TM. We'll use the colon data that we used in the previous chapter. Perform the analysis using the function lmrob_m. The lmrob_m test gives a p-value of 0.0066, similar to the p-value for the Wilcoxon rank sum test, p equals 0.0079, that we saw in the previous chapter. Example data set with two explanatory variables. Now let's look at an example that illustrates robust analysis of a data set with two explanatory variables. I'll start with a data set that has no outliers. I'll then modify the data set to have outliers. I'll show the analysis with and without outliers for an ordinary ANOVA and for the robust analysis. We have the following synthetic data for an experiment with mice where treatment was either drug or placebo, and there were 4 mice from each litter. Within each litter, 2 mice were randomly assigned to drug and 2 were randomly assigned to placebo. Here is a graph of the response by treatment group. Here is the t-test for response versus treatment group. The t-test is not significant, with p equals 0.083. We would conclude that the drug has no significant effect. The t-test analysis can also be done using the R function lm, which performs a linear regression. The linear regression gives the same result as the t-test, as it should, with p equals 0.083. However, the researcher thought that mice from different litters might have different responses. Mice from a litter with few kits tend to be larger, while mice from a litter with many kits tend to be smaller. This might affect their response to the drug. Here is a plot of response versus treatment, broken out by litter. The graph suggests that there is some difference among the 4 litters. Litter 1 has low values for both drug and placebo, while litter 4 has high values for both. Run a two-way ANOVA, including both treatment and litter, as explanatory variables. The two-way ANOVA shows that both litter equals 0.000021 and treatment P equals 0.00054 have a significant effect on the response. Analyses that included only treatment as the explanatory variable would lead to the wrong conclusions. What if, in addition, there were outliers in the data? Here is the modified data set. I've changed the highest values in litter 4 to be 32 for the mouse receiving drug and 31 for the mouse receiving placebo. These are rows 8 and 16 in the table below. Here is the modified data set. I've changed the highest values in litter 4 to be 32 for the mouse receiving drug and 31 for the mouse receiving placebo. These are rows 8 and 16 in the table below. Here is the graph of response by treatment group for the data with outliers. Here is the t-test for the data with the outliers run first using the t-test function and then using the LM function. The t-test and linear model both show that the drug effect is not significant, p equals 0.27. Let's look at the results broken out by litter. The outliers in litter 4 are evident, as is the large difference in response between the litters. We'll first try an ordinary two-way ANOVA for this data with outliers. The ordinary two-way ANOVA confirms the additional variability due to litter p equals 0.00066, but indicates that the treatment is not significant, p equals 0.054. If the treatment has an effect in one litter, but a significantly different effect in another litter, there is an interaction. An interaction can occur if, for example, the effect of treatment differs significantly by sex, by age, or by other variables. Examples of interactions are in the chapter. Avoid one variable at a time experiments. Use factorial experiment design. Here is the test for an interaction between treatment and litter. The formula, response litter treatment, specifies the interaction. The interaction test is not significant. P equals 0.717, indicating that there is no interaction between treatment and litter. So we can drop the interaction and use the results for the test of litter plus treatment shown above. Robust regression using the RobStat-TM package. Now we'll do a robust analysis of the same data using the RobStat-TM package. To run these examples, install and load the package with this code. Here is the analysis of the outlier data, with litter and treatment as the two explanatory variables. The function lmrob_m performs the robust regression analysis. The two-way ANOVA can be implemented as a linear regression. The robust regression indicates that treatment has a significant effect, p equals 0.0006. Compare this result to the conventional two-way ANOVA result of p equals 0.0544, the outlier data, which indicated that treatment was not significant. We can also examine the results for the robust analysis for the data with no outliers. We see that, for the data with no outliers, the p-value for the robust method is similar to the p-value for the classical analysis of variancem, p equals 0.000545. These results indicate that, for data with no outliers, the robust method gives results very similar to the results for a classical analysis of variance. But when there are outliers, the robust method will usually give much better p-values. Rank-based analysis using the R-fit package. Rank-based methods convert the data to rank-based scores. We'll do a rank-based analysis of the same data using the R-fit package. This package accompanies the textbook, Non-Parametric Statistical Methods Using R, by John Cloke and Joseph W. McKean, 2015, Chapman and Hall, CRC. To run these examples, install and load the package with this code. Here is the analysis of the outlier data, with litter and treatment as the two explanatory variables. The function rfit performs the analysis. The rank-based test indicates that treatment has a significant effect, p equals 0.017. Again, compare this result to the conventional two-way ANOVA result of p equals 0.054, which indicated that treatment was not significant. The output also indicates that there are significant differences among the litters. We could have started the analysis with an interaction test using the rfit function RAOV. As for the ANOVA, the formula response litter treatment specifies the interaction test. The interaction test is not significant, p equals 0.937, indicating that there is no interaction between treatment and litter. So, the model without interaction was suitable. We can also examine the results for rfit for the data with no outliers. We see that, for the data with no outliers, the p-value for the rfit method, p equals 0.003456, is similar to the p-value for the classical analysis of variance, p equals 0.00545, although not quite so good. This illustrates the trade-off when using rank-based methods. The p-values for the rank-based method may not be as good as the p-values for a conventional ANOVA when the data are approximately normally distributed with no outliers. But when the distribution deviates greatly from that, the rank-based method can give better results. Which method should you use? There is no single method that will always work best for all data. The robust and rank-based methods presented in this chapter will work well in many, perhaps most, situations. The robust methods are designed to work well when most of the data are from a normal distribution and a small portion of the data is outliers, possibly from a normal distribution with a different mean. In these situations, I find that the robust methods have very good power and usually give the best p-values. The rank-based methods are designed to work well, regardless of the distribution of the data. So, when the data have extremely unusual distributions, the rank-based methods may give better power. The answer also depends, in part, on the software you have available and your experience with the methods. For detailed comparisons of the strengths and weaknesses of many rank and robust methods, see the textbooks cited in the Additional Resources section at the end of this chapter, in particular, the text by Rand Wilcox. However, be forewarned that these texts require a relatively advanced knowledge of statistics. The robust methods and rank-based methods have the advantages of available software and textbooks and perform well in many datasets. However, many other methods are available. This is an active area of research in statistics. Here are some additional resources. Visit mwalkerstatistics.com to download R code for all examples and get the free companion book in PDF format, or order a copy from Amazon.